Welcome back to the next level of saga for the 2010 Suburban 2500. So the previous owner apparently hit a bear, so this bumper's cracked up pretty good. So there's cracks there, already pulled off the truck obviously. Cracks there on the license plate area, a bunch of cracks over here. I've seen quite a few methods online on how to fix these. What I'm going to try is using my plastic welder, which I'll show you in a little bit, and some epoxy on top of that. So we'll see which one of those two holds I'm going to try in combination. First thing I'm going to do is just at every single end of a crack, just take my 1/8 inch drill bit and just drill that to kind of stress relieve it so it doesn't get any worse in the future. So that's first up. Look a little better and be more structurally sound. So, real quick, at the end of every crack that I found, I just drilled an 1/8 inch stress relief hole. So there, end of over here. So anywhere the crack kind of ended in the metal, I drilled a hole. Right here for this crack. So anyway, that's what I just did. Alright, so what I have here is a plastic weld kit. Comes with all these different types of, I guess, weld staples that kind of go for different orientations. So today I'll mostly be using these right here, but there's different types. I have a whole second box here I bought for spare parts. Again, it's probably 20 bucks for this kit and then probably another 10-15 for that, or $10 for the whole of the kit. Every crack I have in this bumper is unique, so I'm going to be doing different techniques, I think. I'm going to try doing the plastic weld to at least hold it in shape, and then I'll bevel out the edge, the inside, and then put some epoxy in there. So again, we're just trying to make this a little more structurally sound and maybe a little more cosmetically appealing. So it's not going to be perfect. So if you want perfection, go watch some other expert body work technicians working on the trucks. I'm not going to videotape a lot of this plastic welding, but just to show you an example, I'm going to pull this together like so. Probably tough angle here, tougher than I thought. So you want to squeeze the trigger, that'll start the melt process, and then you want to push it in some to the plastic, but not too far. As soon as it gets penetration, release it. It'll cool off. And you'll pull off the staple like that. So I'll do a bunch of these. Especially right across here. It's a pretty thick area there. We'll get one in there. Let's see if I can. Obviously you don't want to go too deep, you don't want to go through the other side. It's moving a little bit. And afterwards I think I'm going to take my soldering gun and kind of melt the groove here and stick some epoxy in later. So again, one crack at a time, trying to just make it hold a little better than it does currently right now. I mean, the truck is still driving, it's not like this is necessary for use, but spent much time in this truck to have it look that ugly. Okay, well that's probably all I'm going to videotape for now. And we have cracks galore in this thing, so I'm just going to hit these certain locations and then I'll try and fill in later with some more epoxy. Alright, I'll check back with some more progress to kind of show you as it goes along. Our work is on a rain delay right now because the sky decided to open up a little bit and put a nice, not downpour, but a steady rain on the bumper. Alright, well, it ain't the prettiest job, that is for sure. Kind of looks like Dr. Frankenstein's monster. Anywhere there was a separation, I threw a staple in, or a plastic weld staple, whatever you call these things. That gap there I couldn't close up. Here's not too bad. Around the license plate holder. This side over here also looked pretty ugly, but I think it's much more secure than it was before. My proudest one is this little clip right here. This plastic part right there was broken right at that joint. So I used an outside corner staple, and that might hold actually. So not that it was super necessary for this particular location, but yeah, I'm gonna throw a couple more in there, just in that corner. Anyway, that is the job. I did end up using some masking tape on the outside to try and hold it together, and I'll get some touch-up paint. It's not gonna look perfect like I said, but I'll get some touch-up paint there and kind of hide the black a little bit, and it'll look maybe 40% better than it did before. Not 100%, but maybe 50%. We'll see how generous I am with my percentages. This side over here really has much tape too, because it was pretty bad shape. But I believe to replace this painted was over 300 bucks, so I wasn't going to go that direction for this whole truck. So we'll see what it looks like when it's all said and done on the truck. All right, the last step before reattaching is to snip off all of the ends of these plastic but plastic weld staples. So what I do with safety glasses on, take a pair of wire cutters, bring it close to the surface, and just pop it. So I'll do that more than 100 times here. I brought this into the garage because I can leave this backing up the garage. I don't want these little pieces of metal out in the driveway. So this will be the last step before I remount the bumper. You don't need to watch it. It's not much fun to watch. Actually, this might be oddly satisfying to watch these snip. It is kind of fun. I'll be snipping and popping they fly everywhere. Two diameter staples, 1.6 millimeters, 1.8 millimeter. Separate cut. They fly over everything. Yeah, our hands get back. 11.8 millimeter. This is over here, so there. Oh, I got it. I'm going to cover these little pieces because they're all going now. Sometimes you get a staple, so cut quite nice. Nice to have a camera that looks like a pair of goggles or glasses, so you see exactly what I'm looking at. I'm trying to move the camera around, look through the camera, or what I'm doing is. Hope all two of you out there that are going to watch this appreciate the effort. Pain in the neck it is to tape this stuff. I know I said before I was probably going to go over these with epoxy afterwards. Honestly, I think these staples are good enough for this truck. I'm going to probably call it good after this. Alright, there's the stock transmission cooler right there in front. I measured it's about 4 3/4 by 11 as far as the cooling area. I'm thinking about getting an aftermarket one, but I've read a lot of opposite opinions. We live up in a cold climate, so we kind of need to have the transmission warm up in the wintertime. So if you get too much of a cooler, it would keep it too low, and that's not good for boiling off moisture, I guess, from what I've read. So this may stay. I was sort of planning on replacing it while I had the bumper off, but I also want to kind of test it out. Maybe I'll put my camper on the back and tow it around for a half hour, just see how everything's working and see what the temperatures are, and then decide if I want to bring it back and pull the bumper off again and replace it. So for now, I think we're going to leave the stock one on and give it a go. I'll get it all buttoned up now. Don't need to put that on camera, just putting all the screws back in.